Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. The recent updates regarding Iraq's currency situation have garnered significant attention, especially among those closely monitoring the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, IQD. According to sources from Iraq, the country is gearing up to introduce new, smaller denominations of its currency. The idea behind these smaller denominations is to replace the larger denominations, also known as the 30 notes. These notes include the 25,000 IQD, often referred to as the 25K note, the 10,000 IQD, 10K note, the 5,000 IQD, 5K note, and the 1,000 IQD, 1K note. The transition from these large notes to smaller denominations signifies a critical phase in Iraq's economic reform and potential revaluation of its currency. The 30 notes have been a common feature in Iraq's monetary system for quite some time, particularly after the currency was redenominated in the wake of the Iraq War. These large denominations were necessary at the time due to the hyperinflation and devaluation of the currency. However, as Iraq's economy stabilizes, there has been growing anticipation that the country would eventually shift towards smaller denominations that are more reflective of a stable and functional economy. The mention of smaller denominations, such as 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100 IQD notes, is significant because it suggests a move towards a more manageable and user-friendly currency system. Smaller denominations are generally easier for everyday transactions and reflect a healthier economy. In contrast, the continued use of large denominations like the 25K and 10K notes can be indicative of inflationary pressures or an unstable economy. The introduction of smaller denominations would likely involve the gradual removal of the larger 30 notes from circulation. According to the reports, these larger denominations have already been removed from Iraq, which is a major development for anyone holding these notes, particularly outside of Iraq. This process of removing the large denominations from circulation appears to be nearing completion, with the goal of having the removal finalized by the end of the month. Specifically, it is reported that the 30 notes will be fully removed from circulation by the 30th of this month, marking a pivotal moment in Iraq's currency reform process. This transition raises several questions, particularly for holders of the 30 notes, many of whom have been waiting for a potential revaluation, RV, of the IQD. For years, there has been widespread speculation and anticipation that Iraq would revalue its currency, resulting in a significant increase in the value of the dinar against other currencies, particularly the US dollar. The idea behind the revaluation is that as Iraq's economy improves and stabilizes, the value of its currency would increase, benefiting those who hold large amounts of the dinar. However, the removal of the 30 notes adds a new layer of complexity to this situation. For individuals or entities holding large amounts of these notes, the question now becomes what their value will be once they are fully removed from circulation in Iraq. Will they still be redeemable at their face value, or will there be a conversion process into the new, smaller denominations? These are critical questions that remain to be answered as Iraq continues to move forward with its currency reform. The introduction of smaller denominations could also be seen as a precursor to a broader redenomination of the Iraqi dinar. Redenomination typically involves adjusting the face value of a currency to make it more manageable and reflective of economic stability. For example, in some cases, countries have removed zeros from their currency to simplify transactions and restore confidence in the currency. If Iraq is indeed moving towards a redenomination, the introduction of smaller denominations would be a logical step in that process. The potential redenomination of the IQD also raises questions about the impact on foreign holders of the currency. Many individuals and investors outside of Iraq have purchased large amounts of the 30 notes in the hopes of benefiting from a future revaluation. If Iraq moves forward with a redenomination, it remains to be seen how these foreign holders will be impacted. Will they need to exchange their large denominations for the new, smaller ones? If so, what will the exchange rate be, and how will the process work? Furthermore, the timing of this transition is notable. The fact that Iraq is aiming to have the 30 notes removed by the end of the month suggests that the country is moving quickly towards its goal of currency reform. This rapid timeline could indicate that Iraq's government and central bank are confident in the country's economic stability and are ready to take bold steps towards a more stable and valuable currency. There are also broader implications for Iraq's economy as a whole. The introduction of smaller denominations and the removal of the large 30 notes could signal a shift towards a more stable and prosperous economy. For years, Iraq has been working to rebuild its economy in the wake of the Iraq War and subsequent challenges, including political instability, corruption, and the ongoing threat of terrorism. Despite these challenges, there have been positive signs in recent years, including improvements in the country's oil industry, infrastructure development, and increased foreign investment. If Iraq is indeed on the path towards a more stable and prosperous economy, the introduction of smaller denominations could be a key milestone in that journey. A stable currency is one of the cornerstones of a healthy economy, and the removal of large denominations like the 25K and 10K notes could be seen as a sign that Iraq is making progress towards economic stability. However, it is important to note that the road ahead is still uncertain. While the removal of the 30 notes and the introduction of smaller denominations are positive steps, there are still many challenges that Iraq must overcome. The country's political situation remains fragile, and there are ongoing concerns about corruption and governance. Additionally, Iraq's economy is heavily reliant on oil, which makes it vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices. Despite these challenges, there is reason to be cautiously optimistic about Iraq's economic future. The fact that the country is moving forward with currency reform suggests that its government and central bank are taking proactive steps to stabilize the economy and restore confidence in the currency. If these efforts are successful, it could pave the way for a brighter economic future for Iraq and its people. In conclusion, the reports coming out of Iraq regarding the introduction of smaller denominations and the removal of the 30 notes are significant developments in the country's ongoing efforts to reform its currency and stabilize its economy. For holders of the large denominations, particularly those outside of Iraq, these changes raise important questions about the future value of their currency holdings. As Iraq moves forward with these reforms, it will be important to closely monitor the situation and stay informed about any further developments. Whether these changes lead to a revaluation, redenomination, or simply a more stable currency, the coming months will be critical in determining the future of the Iraqi dinar and its role in Iraq's economic future. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.